Coming up on First at 4, one local college puts on an event to bring people in the community together. Plus, spring travel season is getting underway, and the State Department has some helpful tips that you need to know before you go.
And heavy rain is back in the forecast as we head as soon as later tonight. We're tracking the latest coming up as First at 4 continues right now.
Mountain News First at 4 continues.
Big Sandy Community and Technical College hosted an event today all about coming together. Appalachia Together, Finding Belonging and Community in the Mountains, brought schools, specialists, and students together. From discussions about race in the region to the topics of cultures and celebrating diversity, those involved say it was a needed discussion.
There is a community here of safe and affirming people, a group of people who, love diversity, people who love being able to help each other and show that there are different communities here.
May says the importance of showing people they have somewhere to belong, accepted as they are, cannot be minimized. Today is the deadline for Kentucky SNAP recipients that were affected by the recent windstorms on March 3rd to request replacement benefits. This is for any Kentucky household who lost food bought with SNAP benefits due to all those power outages that lasted longer than 4 hours, and that was the case for many across the Commonwealth. Eric Friedlander, the Secretary for the Cabinet for Health and Family Services, says people can apply online or over the phone, but the deadline to call is quickly approaching.
Because we do have an online portal, of course, it'll be at midnight. But the phones really after 5 o'clock, they go away. So people can leave messages, but I think that's really risky. So I would say the best thing to do is to try to do that online.
Friedlander says to apply online by visiting Connect, that's KYNECT, .ky.gov, but remember the deadline to apply for the replacement benefits is tonight at midnight.
Warm and breezy through the region as we head through tonight. We'll continue to see breezes out there as we head through the next couple of days, and the mild weather as showers look to move in later tonight. Mid-70s, even with overcast from our Pikeville Medical Center camera right now. Things remain on the cooler side. Temperatures remain in the middle and upper 70s region-wide right now. So we will continue to see the warm air thanks to southwesterly winds gusting 20 to 25 miles per hour at times through the region. It's not off the charts, but it is not necessarily a great hair day for many folks out there. We'll continue to see those wind gusts 20 to 25 miles per hour through the evening as temperatures remain rather mild through the next 12 hours. You see those temperatures slowly only falling to average highs this time here. We should be about 60 for an average high. We'll be above that during the overnight hours. Details on when we return to the possibility for scattered showers and storms in a few minutes. Steve?
All right, Evan, thank you. Governor Beshear signed multiple bills he says will support workforce development in Kentucky. Two of the bills he signed were Senate Bill 57 and House Bill 200. The Senate bill helps out military families who cannot find child care on bases. It also lets military spouses licensed as cosmetologists in other states get back into the workforce in Kentucky immediately instead of having to wait on a new license. The House bill focuses on the nursing shortage. The governor says it creates programs to improve scholarships for high-need healthcare areas.
To continue this economic momentum, we have to do everything we can to support our workforce, to find new strategies, and to continue to fill these growing number of great jobs.
There were almost 44,000 new jobs created in Kentucky last year, along with the lowest yearly unemployment rate ever. Governor Beshear also held his Team Kentucky update earlier today. We'll have more about what was mentioned in that tonight at 6. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell is anxious to get back to work. That's what he's telling his leadership team. Lawmakers say McConnell sounds sharp and the 81-year-old is out of the hospital. A fall 2 weeks ago left McConnell with a concussion and a broken rib. His office says his next step is physical therapy at a rehabilitation facility. It's been 13 years now since the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, became law. President Biden, who was vice president at that time, will hold an event to highlight the anniversary of the signature health care bill. The White House says more than 40 million Americans have enrolled in medical plans under the Affordable Care Act. In Washington, the debate over the federal budget and how to pay for government programs, including lifting the debt ceiling, is at a stalemate. Speaker of the House Kevin McCarthy says now's the time to question all spending, including Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid. The White House says proposed cuts to these programs would be a five-alarm fire for America's seniors. The Deputy Director for the National Economic Council, Aviva Arendine, adds Medicaid is essential for millions of older Americans.
It's the largest payer of nursing home care in the nation, and it covers home and community services, which are things like home health aides that let people stay in their homes, not to mention insurance for millions and millions of kids and low-income adults and parents and people with disabilities.
As we mentioned before, today marks 13 years since the beginning of the ACA. President Biden claimed that Republicans are not even addressing health care in their budget plans. The Republicans have not released their proposed budget. Spring travel is ramping back up. The U.S. Travel Association says more than half of all Americans have a vacation planned in the next 6 months. Deputy Assistant Secretary of State Angela Kerwin advises doing a lot of research on the country before you go. She says the State Department has a list of countries that they advise not going to, and that includes places in Mexico even. She also has a message for spring breakers.
They're not in the United States anymore. The rules and laws of the country that they're visiting are the ones that apply.
She also says make sure that your passport is up to date. When you book your travel, take a look at it and make sure it still has 6 months before it expires. She says it usually takes between 8 and 11 weeks to get those passports renewed. A freight train operated by Norfolk Southern Train has derailed in Ayer, Massachusetts. The Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency says 10 railroad cars went off the tracks. Officials say there are no injuries reported. Authorities say the train may have been carrying garbage and no hazardous materials. It's not yet clear what caused that derailment. Coming up on First at 4, Kia and Hyundai are telling those who own their vehicles to park their cars outside. We'll tell you why.
Plus, heavy rain and thunderstorms are back in the forecast along with breezy conditions. Full details after this.